some acrylic shelves because acrylic is way cheaper than so I've just when I first filmed that video, I thought, wow, that was really fun. I'm going to do that once every couple of weeks, in worst case, once a month. That was a year ago. So let's see what I've been up to since then. Just recapping, this is a tiny room. It's only 2.5 by 2.5 meters square. You can barely fit 2 or 3 people in here, especially after I've added all this stuff in. Its main purpose isn't to be a room to play video games in. It's more of a place where I can store all my video games and display them. And we tend to play video games, especially when we have multiple people over, just in the living room. So at the end of the last video, I was just starting to set up everything. I built this wall behind me where I built all these shelves out of acrylic, and I had moved in my display cabinet here to my left. And that was pretty much where I was at. And I still wasn't sure what to do with the rest of that wall, the wall behind me, and how to deal with the door. And I didn't really have anything set up if I wanted to play some video games in here. So fast forward 12 months, this is where I'm at now. I'll just do a quick pan around the room. As you can see, the wall that I stand behind has grown some extra shelves. There's heaps more new shelves and a TV above the display cabinet. And there's also a new custom-made cabinet to house all my consoles and a second TV on the wall behind. And there's some amiibos just sitting on that window there. Okay, so let's start with this wall behind me. Originally, all my big boxes were up the top, and I couldn't fit all of them. For example, my Wii U Mario Maker Special Edition bundle box wouldn't fit up there, and some other boxes I've still yet to unpack in storage wouldn't fit up there. So I took them all from the top and moved them down to an extra shelf I built at the bottom. And on this bottom shelf, I made sure the distance from the shelf above it would fit the largest box I own. So that's the main change I've made to this wall. And aside from that, I've unpacked a bunch of things and I've rearranged how I've managed this shelf. Some of the changes I like, some of the changes I don't like, but don't worry, my shelf of pink Nintendo handhelds is still there, and my Olivia Newton-John a limited edition DS Lite isn't going anywhere. So Olivia's still sitting there looking pretty. Right. So the wall to my left, obviously the biggest changes are the extra shelves and the TV. So I built 3 more shelves in the same manner that I built with the wall behind me. They're just brackets going into studs, and I've used that same 6mm clear acrylic. The shelves are 200 wide, but this time, instead of running the shelves the length of the whole wall, I've stopped them a good, I don't know, like 30 centimeters or so before joining the other shelves, just to visually break up the wall. I have the material, and I originally planned to make them run the full length of the wall, but I thought that might just make the room look a bit cluttered. And as mentioned, it is only 2.5 meters square, and I just don't want it to make it look like the room is just built with a shelf. So I've left some gap there on either side of the new shelves where I could put some posters or some amiibos or something, but I might just choose to leave it there, as I said, to break up the wall a bit. So there's 3 shelves. The top shelf's just holding right now just some cool collectibles and a power glove, but I've started to go for a bit of a theme for the second and bottom shelf. Obviously the second shelf is a little shrine to Zelda. It's not my whole Zelda collection, it's just some of my favorite things that I've got at the moment or that I've unpacked. And then the shelf below that, I've got the same thing with Mario games. One cool little thing to note is I've got this really cool display case above my Game Boy Mario game, and that's just a case from a cheap watch that I had. I love finding little plastic boxes. I'm going for the whole theme of trying to make the whole room and all the walls sort of tie in with my glass display shelf. I just love the look of glass display cabinets. I think they're awesome. If I had the money, I would just buy or custom make glass display cabinets to go everywhere. Or I would have actually built glass display shelves, but it's very heavy. Not that I couldn't handle that, but it's just glass is very expensive, so that's why I've gone with acrylic shelves. So that little acrylic watch display box over the Game Boy case looks really cool. I've also got some extra acrylic boxes that you can see on top of the cabinet and on the Zelda shelf holding that 2DS, which are makeup display cases that I got off Marketplace. Some lady was selling them. They're originally designed for a bridal fair, and I just saw them and I went, hey, they'd be cool display cases. So I just went and picked them up. I think I paid like $20 for like 6 of them, and they were brand new. So that was awesome. The shelf, the display cabinet, my pride and joy that I picked up from a pawn shop that was going out of business. It's still there. No big changes there. It just needs a dust. I haven't cleaned anything in 12 months. I will, once I build some more shelves, I'll probably take everything out and just rearrange it all. I'll probably take everything off all the shelves, give everything a dust, and then just replan out on how I want to display everything. There's also a TV on this wall now. This TV is actually wall mounted, so I can move it around and swivel it. My original plan was I thought I would sit over here with my back against the wall where there's the sliding door and play, and I would just put a console on top of the display cabinet and just plug it in when I wanted to play a console. And so that's just a little 28-inch TV that a friend gave us. But right after I installed it, all of a sudden the TV just decided to stop working. So that was great. So now it's just sitting there taking up space. So I'm going to rip that off, putty up and patch up the holes. And I'm not sure if I'll just build another shelf along there. Maybe I'll do the same thing where I'll make it a bit lower so I can house some larger items. Or then it's also encroaching on the top of the display cabinet. So I might just leave it and just leave space to put items on top of the display cabinet. Who knows? Moving to the wall behind the camera, this is the tricky wall that has the window. So I will plan on boxing in that window. I've actually built something now that I haven't finished painting, and I'm going to have more acrylic shelves that custom fit into that window, because obviously 2.5 meters on every wall, spaces of a premium. So that'll be coming, and I'll just be able to display stuff. But the biggest new thing on that wall is I've built a custom entertainment unit that's specifically made to fit all my old retro consoles, starting at the Nintendo Entertainment System going up to the Wii. And I've got that sitting there right now, as you can see in the shot. I just haven't, I'll do a separate video on this. I haven't plugged in all the cables, but it does have a false wall behind it. There'll be this really schmick cable management that you can't see that's just going to be really awesome. So the plan will be have a couple beanbags here, so Adelaide and I, or a couple of friends, we wouldn't be able to fit more than 2 or 3 people in here, can sit down there and play all the old retro consoles. And then we want to play something newer, or if we have more people, we'll just go into the living room. So that's where we're at, 12 months later. Haven't done anything to this wall yet. The sliding door makes it very difficult. I've just put a poster up. I had this poster laying around in Mario Galaxy 2 that just happened to fit in the space once the door was open. But I think being such a large poster next to such busy shelves just looks a bit odd and it doesn't quite work. So I might end up just putting that in the toilet or something and getting some smaller posters. I could put some shelves there, but it's the same thing of I don't want to overcrowd the room. So yeah, so we've added new shelves behind us, new shelves on that wall. That TV is going to go. I'm going to do a separate video on this console unit once I plug in all the consoles and have them hooked up to that one TV, so the plan can be just pull out any old game I want, plug in and play. The window's getting boxed in, more shelves will go there, probably put some more lights in that, and don't know what's going on there, and I haven't figured out, I might even build a little custom couch to go here that has storage underneath it for controls and stuff, or just do the beanbag option. So 12 months later, that's where it's at. Hopefully I don't take 12 months before I upload another video.